Think we're live. We are. Boom, boom, boom. Welcome to the one and only Monday Night Live. I'm your host, Nathaniel. Got an excited guest with us today, Mr. Ben Doolan. Ben was the first guest ever on LinkedIn Heroes in May 2018. And I just popped onto YouTube and saw that the videos had 4,000 views since we posted it up. I know it's got a lot more on LinkedIn. Beni's got an exciting project to talk about with us today. Beni's a serial entrepreneur, if you've ever met one. How old are you now, Beni? You just turned over 30, or?
Yeah, I'm in the 30 club. Yep, I'm there.
I couldn't list all of the business awards that Beni's won. I'm using one of his latest projects, products, the Tech Styler, a wireless charging notepad as my mouse pad. But Beni, one of the things that's interesting is donating money to those less fortunate. In the old days, you'd walk past somebody homeless and you'd give them a bit of change. A lot of the young people these days don't carry around much change, do they?
Exactly right. It's all digital now.
So tell us about My Charity Change. The floor is yours.
Okay, mate. Look, very, how do I explain this? So over the probably, I dare say the last three or 4 years, my brother and I were involved with different charitable organisations, St. Beni's Soup Vans for a couple of years, and then we got involved with a few other charitable organisations as volunteers. And previously I'd worked with in the not-for-profit sector with multiple sclerosis and a few other organisations, I guess within a marketing capacity. So I kind of, the idea of fundraising wasn't a foreign idea, and how it all operated wasn't too indifferent to me. So I kind of looked at it and I thought, you know what, we can do something better. There's always going to be a better way. And I guess whilst working with some of the fundraising businesses, I kind of found a flaw where, they don't have the avenue to reach as many people as they'd like. And with the current, I guess it's more specifically with COVID and the move towards digital technology away from face-to-face events and face-to-face, door knocking, fundraising, all that kind of stuff, I kind of just thought there's got to be a better way to do this. And I was fortunate enough to be involved with a few little, tech startups out of America, and they were using Roundup technology. And it was such a foreign concept to me. I just kind of got my head around it and realized, well, why is no one doing this in the charity space? So I spoke to some of the powers that be at some of the bigger organizations, or the bigger charitable organizations, and said, hey guys, what do you think about this concept? And they just said, hey, if you can make it happen, we'll get behind it. So yeah, I just did some research, made sure no one else was kind of doing it. I thought it's just such a good idea. Well, why has no one done it? And quite literally that night, I was just sitting there watching a TED talk, and I can't remember the guy who it was, or who was speaking at that time. But he just said, he was talking about marketing and products and being first to market and where you're positioned. And he pretty much said, if you have to think about a product or a service and you have to wonder if anyone's done it, and you have to sit there and you have to Google who's done it, if anyone's in the marketplace, he goes, they haven't done a good enough job, and go out there and get it done. And that was kind of the tipping point for me. I said, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. And 9 months, just over, what are we now? Almost September, over 9 months ago, finished off some work.
Standard time it takes for a baby to come.
Yeah, mate, that's exactly right. My baby, I was just getting there. So we're almost at birth, if I can say that. Where we are at this stage is we've launched live. So at this stage, we can go through. We're using the platform within Apple iTunes, so an App Store, and Google Play. So you can download.
I've actually got it open here. I've just been signing up, and I'm choosing my charities. It's quite a number of charities that you've got to choose from there. I've got to do some research.
I've been a busy boy. I have been a very busy boy. I've got enough stuff going on. So this is my passion project. So this is the 6 p.m. till 12:30 a.m. every night for the last few months. And it's finally coming to fruition, which is great because it has been tough work getting out there. And like anything, especially in the not-for-profit sector, it's not just hey guys, look, I've got this great idea. It's you've got an idea that's not proven. We've got a board to report to. We've got an executive team. We've got this and that. So like with anything, there's a lot of back and forth. So we're happy to be in that position now.
Okay, well, if you're tuning in, guys, on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, drop us a comment in the chat. I'd like to hear what city you're tuning in from. We've been a bit slow on the engagement this week. I'd like to hear where you guys are tuning in from and all the difficult questions that you have for Ben Doolan and his new project. You can ask him anything you like, and I'll make sure I pick the most difficult ones. So Benny, I'm just going to explain just to explain the concept. As I understand it, a Roundup app is something that you download on your phone from Play Store or Apple iTunes. And then when you make purchases, it allows you to round up to the nearest dollar and donate the difference to charities that you choose. Is that more or less the concept?
Yeah, exactly right. Hit the nail on the head. So the app is really simple. It's a really simple 4-step process. So you download from either the Android or the Apple App Store. And then once you've downloaded, you select whichever charity or not-for-profit or charitable organization you would like to, I guess, get involved with and support. And once they're, I just see people tuning in. I
don't mean to distract you. I'm just, giving them some love.
Right. Once they select those charitable organizations, they link their bank and their card. And what that does is it just gives, like you just said, it authorizes. So anytime that you make a purchase on that bank card, so it might be anything, PayPass, Zip Pay, Afterpay, absolutely any time that card's used, it just rounds up to the nearest dollar to donate. And so within the app, the kind of next process is we allow people to set a maximum amount. So there's no surprises. You can round up $2, $3.50, all the way up to $200 a week. And then 100% of that donation is sent through to the charities that week. So yeah, it's a pretty simple concept. We kind of just want to make sure that people can, at not all stages, people are allowed to or can afford moving that $20, $50, $100 or those larger donations. So we just open it up to make sure that all Australians can support organisations.
And what sort of charities are you bringing on board? Like what sort of areas are you interested in providing funding for?
Mate, probably a bit of everything and anything at this stage. We're only partnering with, I guess you could say, the most reputable charitable organisations in Australia. And I guess by reputable, we kind of, whilst doing our research and getting into this, there are so many charities, not-for-profits. We just want to make sure that the money that's generated through this goes to the right places. So I guess to answer your question in a roundabout way, children, there's numerous amounts of, I guess, children charities and not-for-profits that we've gotten involved with, cancer, environmental. We've just partnered with a few rural and farming based initiatives and causes. As well as that, we've obviously got ones in respiratory, heart, got domestic violence, and I guess very topical at the moment is mental health. So we're partnering with a few mental health, and that's you can jump on the app and check out the ones that we do have. Stage, I think we've got about 30 on board, and some of those are I dare say the biggest and most well known in Australia. We've got a few projects and initiatives that we're launching over the next 30 days that are looking very exciting, and we'll see how I guess that translate to add more charities and not-for-profits in that sector.
So this is the first Roundup app for charities in Australia, is it not?
That is correct. Yes.
Awesome.
I've seen. I saw after we've kind of gone through the designs and everything, I've seen a few people that have tried to get similar concepts off the ground. Where with that, the hard part around it is Australian banking. So jumping through so many hoops around authorization, Australia is very strict in that regard. So multi-factor authentication and implementing an app that does around it, it's really difficult. So in the past, the barriers to entry, and still today, is really quite difficult to get around it. But yeah, so people tried to use it through creating their own credit cards, their own brands, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas we've just navigated the pathway, I guess, to make it easy for people to use this type of concept.
Yeah, user experience has got to be so important with a project like this, I can imagine. And just, I've only got as far as choosing the charities, and so far it has been very easy to use. Question from my good friend Paul in the UK. He wants to know if he can get his hands on the app and if it's going to be rolled out worldwide.
Good question, Paul. Insane. Obviously got the dreams that make people scared. I'm one of those people who always dreams big. So yes, the answer is I would love to wrap this up in Australia and test that the business model works. So first and foremost, we want to make sure it works here in a smaller population or demographic. Australia's 27 million, and then the potential to roll out into different different countries would 100% be the goal. And with that, just proving that this model and this concept works, and most importantly for us, making sure that charities and not-for-profits, they do well out of it. They're successful. That people in Australia can just round up their extra few cents, and that translates to these charities keeping their doors open and staying successful and supporting the people or the organisations that they look after.
Yeah, I was actually quite shocked to find out when I was doing the sleep out how many kids under the age of 12 are actually homeless in Australia during winter. It's over 15,000 or so now, I believe, in Australia, and you just think this country with this amount of wealth, you think that wouldn't be a problem, but it's still a huge problem. And we need to do whatever we can to make it easy for people to donate. I think these days, with technology, there's not many guys under the age of 21 rolling around with bloody $4 or $8 worth of coins in their pocket. I don't know about you. I don't carry coins anymore at all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can make a big difference with a little bit, each time you buy something.
I couldn't agree more. And that's it. And we're not trying to take away from a lot of the charitable organisations we speak to. They've got amazing generosity through their supporters, where they'll get, people donate $1,000 or $2,000 or upwards of that every year. We're not trying to take away from that. What we are trying to do is, just incorporate, a cup of coffee a week, or $2 or $4 here and there, where that kind of money on a larger scale really impacts these organisations. And I've read some statistics. Some charities and not-for-profit organisations have lost up to 80% of their revenue because they don't have the ability to face-to-face fundraise. They don't have the ability to do coin collection, street appeals, events where they may have gone before, and that was their bread and butter. It's just not there now. So yeah, you're right. As much as I don't see people carrying $4 to $8 worth of coin down the street, I don't know. I'm probably the same as you. This is a pathway to generate some of that revenue that doesn't really impact people. The extra few cents here and there. I personally, it's not something that I really miss, but I'm kind of guessing a lot of people aren't going to miss that extra cents just rounding up, but it does make a big difference.
So I'm curious, with your marketing strategy for the app, how does social media fit into it all? What are your plans with the different platforms? What are your thoughts?
Mate, I've got to, as you know, I'm a man with a plan. I've got a few things up my sleeve. But in saying that, number one, first and foremost, we've been hugely, what's the word I'm looking for? Hugely accepted by a lot of people who have large followings through social media. So as you can imagine, during this time, people are always looking, and innately people are always looking to help out and lend a hand where they can. So we've got a fair few different social media influencers through the likes of Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, who've got a lot of following, and their content that they share, people are engaged. So number one, I guess, in terms of that marketing exposure, is we've got a social media campaign where we've got a brief, key messaging, all that kind of stuff is out and about and ready to go. And then the next step for us is to push that out. So our launch is August 19th, so in 2 days, and we've got through our social media partners, we've got reach for about 9 million Australians that'll go out in the next 7 to 10 days.
Yeah. Well, given that you're based in Melbourne, I imagine you're not having a launch party in South Bank with all the bells and whistles this time. Is it a virtual launch?
Mate, I tell you what, the launch is just me sitting in my room, thumbs up, that's about it.
Doing the countdown with a drum roll.
To be honest, I have, rolled out a few businesses before, and the startup grind is something I really love. So I'm not complaining about it, but it has been that I'll finish a normal job, then I'll finish another business I'm involved with and help people out with consulting, and then I get home and I go. I get off the Zoom calls because I'm already home. But then I start the 7 p.m. and I probably for the last few months I haven't finished before 12:30, and I get up at 6 a.m. It's just this routine. So as much as I want to celebrate and do the 3, 2, 1, I think I'll just be relieved. Something that is within the market that's going to make a difference to these organizations.
I'm just trying to bring up your Instagram because I saw a photograph that you posted. Let's see if I can bring it up here. I'm going to try and embarrass you here.
That one alone, I think.
I bloody can't find it. But it was you standing on the balcony with your shirt and tie on in your boxer shorts. And you said something about, what was the caption?
Mate, I don't know what to be honest.
I just want you to know that I have pants on. I do have pants on.
Yeah, I was definitely Zoom ready that day.
Okay, just stirring shit here. But what's your ultimate goal for the app? Paul's asked the second question.
Well, like with anything, any project you undertake, we keep moving the goalposts further and further away. So, initially it was let's get maybe $50,000 support for all the organisations on board. That was our target. It was always, and it still is. It's always about making it. We've got 3 mission statements around making it easy for Australians to donate, helping charities through this period, and making ourselves really transparent and accountable to make sure it works. And with that in mind, those goalposts keep moving. So originally it was we want to raise $1 million for charitable organisations, and that was it. Great. Now we push the goalpost back with the potential of social media influencers with our plan, and we've got avenues which I'm not gonna stipulate just yet because we're 99% of the way, but there'll be a few TV shows where we're featured on there. Some of the most watched shows in Australia, and newspaper, radio, all that kind of stuff. So to answer that question, it's probably around about $10 million in terms of revenue raised for charities. That's our target's 10 million. But in saying that, some of the organisations that we have on board are so well supported and and backed by people, that goalpost might move further and further away. So,
and with the priority at the moment would be market share, surely going first to market, getting as much people signed up to your app, so you've got the traction. The competitors can't move in. Well, surely that's the priority over revenue at the moment, or money raised, fundraising.
Yeah. Well, in saying that, it's bit of column A, bit of column B. So, as much as we do want to, we just want to make a difference in Australian charitable organisations. Number one, we've got some of the big organisations on board, but we've also got some smaller ones that are just really finding it tough. And some of the work they do is just amazing. So we thought, if we can just keep them afloat, our immediate goal is let's just try and get as much support behind those organisations, especially the smaller ones, to help them work through this period. And then secondary to that, obviously market share is something that's ideal. We don't have any direct competitors in the marketplace, and having such good support and really breaking out at the moment, something for us that it's uncharted waters. So we're just trying to push through and just see where it goes. We've got no doubt that Australians will get behind it and show their support. It's just making sure that we can facilitate that growth and make it as seamless and user friendly as possible.
Sounds good. Karen, I tuned in late. Do you get to choose the charity to support? I'll let you answer that one, Beni.
Yes, Karen, you definitely do get to choose. So when you sign up, I was just making mention before, it's a really easy sign up. So you can go to the Apple iTunes, App Store and the Google Play Store. Literally just type in My Charity Change. It's the first one that comes up. It's a blue heart. Can't miss it. You select it. Once you download that app, you enter your details, and then the next screen is select your charitable organisation or up to 3 organisations that you'd like to support. So, you can choose it. So if there's one on that list, we've got there should be about 30 plus on board as of, there it is. There you go. There should be about 30 plus on board as of our launch on Wednesday. So I'm sure there's one on there that you'll get behind and support. And then, you can chop and change whoever you like week to week. But
if you choose more, you choose one or a few, or
so you can choose up to 3. But in saying that, we've tried to push a lot of categories in. So it's not just all environment. It's not just all animals. We're really trying to encompass and diversify the offering so that everyone in Australia can be included. And if you've been affected in some way by something negative within your life that people are supporting, or if you've had interaction with any of these types of organisations, I'm sure there's something that someone on there that you'd like to support.
Okay, well, I think that answers everyone's questions. I just love seeing Matthew Nano with his comment there. I don't know if you had a chance to read that one. A lot of support coming through, which is great to see. If you guys have any questions for Beni after the live, do post them in the comments. I'm going to be asking him to go back and answer any questions that do come through. We get about half the audience watch it on replay. And yeah, good on you for making a difference, mate. You've done a few startups now, so at your old age of 30. And it's good to see you doing something that's going to make a big impact in Australia. And it seems like you're quite far along. So pleased to be able to help a little bit at this stage. And we'll continue to follow your journey on Instagram and LinkedIn. Go and follow Beni if you get the chance. And don't forget to download my charity change. Check it out on Google Play and the Apple Store. And thanks for joining us, Beni.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Cheers. Appreciate it.